up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review season 2, episode 9. That's right, episode 9 of Power Book 4 Force, aka Tommy. And the episode is titled No Loose Ends. And man, this was a good episode. This has been a great season. I've been enjoying this season. Next week looks like it's the season finale, and I cannot wait. But let me not jump ahead. Let's focus on this. But before we get into this episode, I gotta give a shout out to my lovely subscribers that hold me down in the comment section. Y'all keep this channel going and growing. I'm talking about folks like Quentin Baptiste, Kryptonian Black, Lamont Simpson, Beautifully T, the R.C. Kroger, Nadine Harris, Tayon's World, June, and all Savannah Rivers Amore Dupree, and all the rest of you wonderful people that are watching this show with me and holding me down in the comment section. Our brother does appreciate it. And bam, just like that. See, that's all you got to do is hit the like button. Bam, that's all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. Just like that. That's how you help a brother out. Just hit the subscribe button. So now I got that out the way. Let's get down to this episode, No Loose Ends. Starts off with it looks like Tommy and Diamond handling what they had to do with, last week Diamond killed the parole officers, so now it's like they must have been taking care of the body. So Diamond and Tommy are having a conversation, and Tommy tells him, listen, we got a snitch. Jenny Sue told me we got a snitch in the fold, in the camp. Somebody in CBI is a snitch, and I think it's Jannard. And Diamond's like, nah, it's not Jannard. I think it's Vic. And Tommy's like, there's no way it's Vic because I watched this dude kill a Fed. I watched him kill a Fed. There's no way. And he killed his father. There's no way it's him. Well, Tommy, you are wrong. So then he says, Diamond tells him, listen, don't get hasty. He said, no, I'm not going to be hasty. We're going to catch him. And how he plans to catch them is, how they have to switch out those phones. What he's going to do is switch out the phone. When they switch out the phones, what's going to happen is he has a connection. Jenny Sue has a connection with the people at the phone company. They can tell which phone made a call to the feds or whatever. See, there's always a leak somewhere. Always a leak somewhere. It's always something somewhere. Everything could be found out. So Tommy is definitely thinking that this is all going to be Jannard or Shanti. He's convinced. You can't tell him otherwise, but he's definitely wrong. Meanwhile, we go over to Stacy and Bobby, and Stacy is ready to go on and make a move to arrest Tommy for the murder of their colleague, Vargas. And Bobby's like, you're doing too much, and you know that wasn't, you forced that on Vic to say that. That's not what really happened. And he's telling her, if you do it this way, I'm going to have to go on the defense side and tell him how you did this. So we should not do it like this. We need to do it a different way. And, he was telling her, listen, I don't know what's come over you. You're just trying to do, this desperation. It's not a good look on you. And you need to do it a different way or whatever. So they come to an agreement. Then they decide they want to put a bug in Tommy's house, in Tommy's loft. And they find out there's cameras everywhere, on the roof, in the doorway, on the side, in the garage, or wherever. There's just cameras everywhere. So they're like, how are we going to do this? And they come up with an idea. Aha! Let Vic do it. Now listen, Vic has been shitting bricks this whole episode because Vic knows that Tommy is not stupid. Vic is scared, like, how much more y'all want me to do? Vic is scared because Vic feels like Tommy is on to me, man. Or he eventually he's going to be on to me. And through this whole episode, it was quite funny watching Vic look nervous as he's around Tommy. Even though he had to do it, he has no choice. He has to put the bug in Tommy's apartment. But it's like, he's like, oh my God, if I get caught, man, I almost got caught the last time. Tommy is not the one to be dealing with like that. Especially through this episode, he sees and knows what Tommy is capable of. So it's like, yeah, that's crazy. So meanwhile, as that's happening, let's move on down to Miguel and Grandma and Maria. And Miguel is telling Grandma how he plans on having a meeting with Jannard with Diamond separately. Yeah, he's having a meeting with Diamond separately, and that he wants to basically take over and kill Tommy. This doesn't sit well with Maria. So Maria basically says, she basically goes over to Tommy. Listen, she didn't even give her brother his insulin. She ran over to Tommy's house so quick to tell Tommy what was going on. She said, listen, he wants to kill you. And this is where I draw the line in the sand, because it's going to be, she said, look, I overheard him with his plan and what he was going to say. And it's going to be, I'm taking you over him because I'm sick of this family, whatever. So she's deciding to roll and rock with Tommy. Meanwhile, the crazy thing, and I knew this was happening, when Miguel meets with Diamond and he's having a conversation with him, and they kept mentioning this whole thing about the car and who was going to drive Grandma around. When she said something about them saying about she's going to take his car, I said, watch, something happening to Grandma tonight. And I was right, because Grandma got in that car. Nunez was supposed to drive her. Grandma got in that car by herself. The car blew up. Granny is dead. Miguel is hot. You see, this is Merkowitz doing. But what's going on, what we find out in this episode is Nunez, see, nobody could be trusted, y'all. Nunez is working with Merkowitz to double-cross Miguel. Like, there's no loyalty. You can't trust nobody. So now the thing is, Maria tells Tommy, she says, Tommy, I know, she says, Nunez was the one that had my brother's car, whatever. So now Tommy has figured it out, like, aha. So I see what we got to do here. So what does he do? Tommy recruits Vic with him. Then Vic is shaking in his boots because Vic thinks that Tommy's on him, because Tommy's in the car with him like, you know what, I hate it, but a rat. I hate a rat and a snitch. And Vic is like, yeah, you know, and after he done put the bug in Tommy's apartment, he's like nervous, like, oh shoot, do this man know me? But no, Tommy was taking him to get Nunez. So they get Nunez and they're torturing him. Tommy's doing all the torturing, and he gets him to tell me the plan, because I know that Miguel wants to take out Merkowitz. So he says, this is Tommy's plan, which is a clever plan. We beat Miguel to the punch of taking out Merkowitz by messing up his plans. And how we do that is we somehow get the jump on it and alert Merkowitz so that he can get away. And then we have this thing. We look good because now we have the snitch, Nunez, that we can bring to them, so that, I think his name is Chi, so that Miguel's boss can see, look, they're on the up and up. And it's kind of making Miguel look bad. And so very clever. So basically, very clever. So basically, he finds out that Nunez, he said, I know you're the snitch or whatever, and you've been working with Merkowitz and Miguel. He says, call Merkowitz right now and tell him, when is this plan? When is Miguel's plan coming into play to take out Merkowitz? Tell me. And he tortures him. He gets him to tell him. He said, now call Merkowitz so he can get up out of there. And so Miguel and his people stormed that place, shot up the place, and of course Merkowitz slipped away in that little secret getaway part because he was forewarned. I said, Tommy's slick with it. He was forewarned. So now this puts Miguel in a bad spot with his boss, like, you let him slip away. This is a mess. And while that's happening, here come Tommy feeding Miguel and Che with Nunez, saying, you got a snitch in your team, him right here. I've been following him. He's the one that's been working with Merkowitz, and that's how they deal with that. So I said, very clever right there, because this is how Tommy is setting himself up. You see what I'm saying? Very clever, because now it's like, this is impressive to the guy. He's like, wait, you didn't know you had a snitch in your camp all this time. You didn't get to kill Merkowitz. He still got away. And you got a snitch? Oh, you're not on your job, but this Tommy dude is on his job. So I was like, that was clever, good stuff right there. What else happened in this episode? We see the brothers, Diamond and Jenard, bonding a little bit here, because Jenard wants to see if Diamond is okay with the death of Leon and how he's handling it, how he's dealing with that. And Diamond says, I need two things from you. I need you to find out who killed Leon, and I need you to help me with some other thing. And that was Jamal, Leon's father. Because when Diamond went to the home to return some things to Leon's mom, here's the father Mr. Billy Badass, oh yeah, you gonna be, just telling on himself. So what ends up happening is Jannard and Diamond end up taking care of Jamal, killing him, taking him out to the water, drowning him, because like, you told on me, you the one that told my parole officer stuff, trying to get me arrested again and mess me up. And he said, and another thing, you killed your son with all the terrible things that you said about him and how you was raising him and how you was dealing with him. So now Jamal is dead because Diamond had to take his. So that's just how Diamond is dealing with his issues with that whole thing with Leon. But there's a bit of a problem. The young man who killed Leon is a nephew of someone that they're business partners with. So that might not be so easy to handle. So that's an interesting thing there. But I thought that scene was pretty good there. And you see that little bond there between Jannard and Diamond, where they're working together so much more. And you see that even Jannard even tells Shanti, he's like, listen, because Shanti, he says, when we cut Tommy out, we don't have to cut out Diamond. And she's so tough. She's like, what are you talking about? He said, we don't have to cut Diamond out. And she doesn't agree. But he said, listen, we don't have to cut Diamond out. There may be a chance. So it's all this backstabbing, all this going back and forth and craziness. And I mean, it makes for good television. It really does. What else is going on here? Claudia Flynn, who I cannot stand, has made a deal. She somehow moved her way in, and now she's getting involved in with Merkowitz and the Marquez cartel. And she lets Shanti know, you need to be a part of this or you not, this and that. So she's really getting power after being kicked out of her own family's thing. She's trying to gain some power here. And she tells Shanti, we can be real powerful, leave CBI. Now, she doesn't know that Shanti is working with Tommy and them still. And Shanti has shared this information with Tommy too. So Tommy said, this is how we're going to play this. You're going to act like you're not with CBI anymore. And you stick there over there with Claudia. And, this is, we going to work this. I said, this is going to be interesting because I can't stand Claudia. And I want to see her taken down, honestly. I can't stand her. I'm annoyed with her. I don't know. She just annoys me. It's time to see her taken. I don't know. It's time for her to be taken down. It really, truly is. But I thought more twists and turns, a lot of stuff going on here. Lots of craziness. And the biggest thing, though, tonight. The biggest thing. Oh, before I go into that. JT, Tom and his JT, why am I forgetting her name? But y'all know Tommy's mother's name. I don't know. Kate. JT, Kate. He tells her, he lets her know that, his son Darnell is not dead, so she's happy about that. But Darnell has gotten into some trouble because he's left that place, wherever this place is that Tommy put him in. He left. They called JT and told JT, or was it JP? They called and told him, they said, listen, your son, he left. He assaulted someone. But then he finds his son over at his friend's house and he says, what happened? And they have this conversation and Darnell's like, basically tell him, listen, you abandoned me. You told me I assaulted them. No. They assaulted me and they wanted to cut off my locks. He was like, I couldn't have that. So he left. So he told him, listen, you just stay here. You stay here. And you're right. I failed you as a father twice. I'll speak to Tommy and I'll deal with this situation. But you stay here. Now, quite honestly, this whole thing with Tommy's brother and that whole, I don't know what they're going to do with that storyline. It seems like that he's getting less and less to do with each episode. They got to give him something else to do, or I don't know, or maybe they're going to write him out of the show. I don't know. We'll see, but they need to give him a little bit more to do. It's kind of getting a little, him and the nephew. I'm going to need some more things to be happening with them. And that's that. So now, the crazy part, my favorite part of the episode, we saw that big shootout. That shootout at the restaurant was a great scene too, and with Merkowitz getting away, that was a really good scene. But my favorite part of this episode, basically, was when Tommy met up with Jenny Sue to look at the phone records, and he's just sure, he is so sure that it is Shanti or Jannard. He's like, ain't that the phone number? He looking at ain't that Shanti, that's the phone? She said, no, that's not the number. It's this number. And the look on Tommy's face, and that's how the episode ended. So good, because now Tommy knows that Vic is the snitch. And now we got to see how Tommy's going to handle all this and see how all of this is going to play out. This was another great episode. This season has been so good. So many twists and turns and backstabbings and so much going on. I cannot wait for the season finale. Tell me your thoughts. If it's something I left out or something I said wrong, correct me down below. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think about this episode? What do you think of the season so far? And are you looking forward to it, that season finale? I'm ready. It's going to be good. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Raising Kanan will be back soon too. So I'll be looking forward to that too. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you when? In the next video.